What if I told you that you don't need a gym membership? You don't need to sweat for an hour, and you definitely don't need to walk 10,000 steps a day to significantly extend your lifespan. Well, it's true. The fitness industry has completely overcomplicated longevity. I mean, we're constantly bombarded by a $600 billion longevity market trying to sell us endless supplements, sleep trackers, and incredibly expensive ice baths. But recent data published in top-tier medical journals like Nature Medicine has uncovered a literal biological cheat code. It turns out just 5 minutes of a specific type of daily movement can drastically reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease, protect your telomeres, and potentially add up to 5 healthy years to your life. So today, I'm going to show you the 5 minute micro routine that actually forces your body to age backwards. Let's get into it. So what if you just never went to the gym again? Look, if you're feeling totally exhausted just thinking about the standard health guidelines, that daunting 150 minutes of moderate exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise every single week, believe me, you are not alone. In fact, a vast majority of adults fail to meet those targets. For years, we've been stuck in this toxic all-or-nothing mentality, believing that if we don't carve out 45 minutes to go to the gym and get in a grueling, sweaty workout, we might as well just sit on the couch and do nothing. But what if the key to a longer, healthier life was actually hidden right in the small, seemingly insignificant moments of your day? To understand how this works, we really need to wrap our heads around the massive distinction between physical activity and actual exercise. You see, exercise is a planned, structured, and purposeful activity with the specific goal of improving fitness, like running 3 miles on a treadmill or lifting weights. But physical activity, that's simply any bodily movement produced by your skeletal muscles that requires energy expenditure. As Frank Booth, a professor of nutrition and exercise physiology, points out, our bodies haven't actually changed much over the past 100,000 years. Our hunter-gatherer ancestors definitely didn't do structured workouts. They just moved. Our bodies are designed to move, and they actually require us to be physically active for our internal systems to function. Normally, you can literally be incredibly healthy without ever exercising, as long as you're consistently physically active. Section 1. Introducing VIPA. Now let's see how this builds into the most exciting breakthrough in modern preventive medicine. In clinical research, this 5 minute hack is known as VILPA, Vigorous Intermittent Lifestyle Physical Activity. It basically means short, spontaneous bursts of vigorous effort embedded right into your daily life. Here's exactly what happens in your body when you do this. When you push your heart rate up for just 1 or 2 minutes at a time, you activate an enzyme called AMPK. Think of AMPK as your body's master longevity switch. When flipped, it triggers mitochondrial biogenesis, forcing your cells to create brand new, highly efficient energy factories. You don't need special equipment or crazy athletic ability. You just need a few minutes between meetings. And this whole concept brilliantly illustrates a massive paradigm shift in global health right now. For a long, long time, guidelines stipulated that exercise only counted if it was done in continuous bouts of at least 10 minutes. But in 2020, the World Health Organization officially scrapped that 10-minute stipulation. Their new motto is simply all activity counts. This was a huge an acknowledgement that your biological machinery absolutely doesn't know the difference between a structured sprint on a treadmill and you sprinting down the block to catch a bus. It's all the same to your cells. Section 2. The Nature Medicine Study. This brings us right to the landmark 2022 research that completely transformed how we view these short bursts of movement. What makes this particular research so incredibly interesting is the sheer scale and accuracy of the study. Researchers looked at over 25,000 participants in the UK Biobank who explicitly stated they did absolutely no formal exercise in their leisure time. None. Zero. But instead of relying on flawed human memory and those notoriously inaccurate questionnaires, the researchers actually gave them wearable accelerometers to track their real-world movement over nearly 7 years. They wanted hard, objective data to capture those hidden micro-patterns of vigorous activity that regular people do without even realizing it. And the results, they were absolutely staggering. The researchers found that participants who accumulated up to 11 short VILPA bouts a day, and remember, again, these are just spontaneous bursts lasting 1 or 2 minutes each, saw their risk of dying from any cause, including cancer, dropped by nearly 50%, 49% to be exact, compared to people who did no VILPA at all. Imagine that, almost half the risk of death just from a few cumulative minutes of daily hustle. No way. Right. But wait, it gets even better. The crucial point here is how this affects your heart. The data revealed that this exact same micro routine of up to 11 bouts a day was associated with an incredible 65% reduction in cardiovascular death risk. Just let that sink in for a second. A 65% drop in cardiovascular mortality for people who never even stepped foot in a gym simply because they let themselves get slightly out of breath for a minute or two, a few times a day. It's a real game changer. The data here reveals incredible efficiency. The mortality benefit curve is steepest right at the very bottom, which honestly is the most important part of this entire explainer. This means the biggest return on investment comes from moving from zero activity to just 3 or 4 minutes a day. Seriously, even just 3 bouts a day, totaling maybe 4 minutes of effort, resulted in a 38 to 40% reduction in all-cause mortality. You absolutely don't have to become an elite athlete to see these benefits. You just have to move the needle off zero. The biology takes it from there. Section 3, boosting your health span. Because it's not just about adding years to your life, right? We need to pivot to living those extra years with real vitality, independence, and a sharp mind. And these short bouts of activity do incredible things across your entire system for your brain. A Johns Hopkins study found a 41% lower dementia risk, even in the lowest activity groups. For cancer risk, just 3 to 4 minutes of vigorous bursts lowered incidence by up to 32%. Furthermore, primary epidemiological studies show that these short bursts of activity reduce oxidative stress on your DNA, actively preserving the length of your telomeres. Those are the protective caps at the end of your chromosomes. And remember, longer telomeres equal a younger biological age. It also dramatically improves your overall metabolic health and your insulin sensitivity. It's like a full-body tune-up in under 5 minutes. But here is the real secret sauce. Consistency over intensity. A massive meta-analysis spanning up to 6.5 million participants found that being consistently active across adulthood lowers your mortality risk far, far more than the intensity of any single marathon workout session. 10 minutes every single day absolutely beats a 90-minute session. You only manage to drag yourself to once a week. Your body craves that frequent daily signal that it needs to stay strong and efficient. Section 4. How to microdose fitness. So how do we bring this science right into our living rooms? Now, let's get one thing straight. This is not a casual 5-minute stroll looking at your phone. For this quick fix to work, it has to be brisk. You need to trick your body into thinking it needs to adapt. Here's the daily protocol to fit into any busy schedule. First, the effort level. You need to walk fast enough that you can still speak, but you wouldn't be able to sing a song. You want to feel slightly out of breath. Real-world examples. Fast stair climbing, taking 2 or 3 flights, genuinely fast. Power mopping or vacuuming your house, chasing your kids or your dog around the yard for 2 solid minutes, carrying heavy grocery bags from the car with a real sense of urgency. These all totally count. Next is the snack method. You don't even have to do all 5 minutes at once. You can do exercise snacks. Walk briskly from your car to the grocery store for 1 minute. Take the stairs quickly for 1 minute. Do this 5 times throughout your day. And finally, the trigger. Attach this habit to something you already do. For example, right after you finish your morning coffee, walk briskly around your block for exactly 5 minutes. If you want the ultimate bulletproof framework, just aim for 3 to 5 of these VILPA bouts daily, maybe at a couple of moderate 20-minute walks a week for extra dementia protection, and throw in some basic bodyweight squats a few times a week to keep your muscles strong. That's a total daily investment of about 4 to 7 minutes. Immediate gratification and longevity usually sounds like a total scam, but this is the rare exception where the primary medical data actually backs it up. Start tomorrow morning. Give me 5 minutes of brisk, purposeful walking, and your cellular machinery will reward you with years of vitality. If you want more science-backed, time-saving longevity protocols, just like this one, hit subscribe to Golden Years Pulse. Leave a comment below if you are committing to the 5-minute rule tomorrow. I'm Dr. Thomas, and I'll see you in the next explainer.